Today, we got to talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez apparently not knowing what the three branches of government are. Now, this video you're going to see in a moment was pretty shocking to me. I know Miss Cortez ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer or the brightest bulb in the lamp, but come on, this is some high school stuff you should know. This is not really anything that deep or complex, but before I even go down that road, what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and roll the clip. You'll see what I'm talking about in this clip, in its context. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what was in the clip, and then I'll talk about people's reactions to it, whether it's, on my side, you should know that you're too old, or on the other side, slip of the tongue, give her some slack. And I'll talk about her reaction as well, and then I'll talk about why it's even important, why I'm doing a video about it today, why am I even bringing it up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Is that should we, and if we work our butts off to make sure that we take back all three chambers of Congress, all three chambers of government, the presidency, the Senate, and the House in 2020, we can't start working in 2020.
Okay, so you saw that. You see what's going on. Now, this is really shameful. Alexandria, come on. Three chambers of Congress, three chambers of government. I could understand if it was something simple as saying three chambers of Congress. Okay, you just got one too many. It's two chambers of Congress, House and Senate. You said three. Okay, slip of the tongue, it can happen. You corrected yourself there and then said three chambers of government, the House, the Senate, and the presidency. What are you talking about? First of all, your words are wrong. It's branches of government. There are three of them, but none of them are what you said. Not even the presidency, because the executive branch ain't just the presidency, is also the vice president and the cabinet. So it ain't just one person. You got a lot of people in that particular branch. And then the Senate and the House go under legislative. That's the second branch. And then you have judicial. You're talking about Supreme Court justices and also federal judges that get appointed by the president. This is something that's very simple. You should have known since high school. You graduated college and you paying on student loans for what? How did you even pass? This should be a basic thing that everybody knows. I don't know where you went to school. You're from New York. Apparently your dad had some money and whatnot. So I'm thinking private school, because I don't hear this, big, strong New York accent. So I'm thinking private school. If you went to private school and college, why don't you know a very basic thing like this? All right. And the reason why it's important is because she's getting paid by your money, $174,000 per year to be a member of the U.S. House. This is a federal position. This ain't just some person on the street. I could understand if she was just a regular person, a protester or something like that and doesn't know the information. Okay, who cares about that, right? It's just a regular individual. The average person may not know that, and that's fine. But come on, you are an elected official. Imagine if it was Donald Trump saying something like this. Remember when he said 7-Eleven rather than 9/11 when he was at some kind of speech or a rally? Oh, man, it was news for days. If you look at YouTube, if you look on Google right now, you can still see a bunch of articles. Now, that is a slip of the tongue. You just said something that sounds like something else. But she totally just didn't even know what the branches were. If you were to say chambers of government and then give the correct branches after you said that, okay, you just made a wrong. You said the wrong word. Rather than chambers, you should have said branches, but you named the correct branches. But she didn't do that. She didn't know, first of all, what the government, she didn't know what that was called. Second, she didn't even know what the branches were. This is crazy. And this is who you elect in office. I don't care about her age. I don't care about her gender, ethnicity. None of that really matters. Now, people talking about, oh, well, get off her back. It was just a slip of the tongue. Like I said, if you're a regular person, I get it. But if you are an elected official, you got to tighten up. You got to do more than that. More is expected of you. Okay. Especially when I'm paying your money. This ain't no state position. You have state legislatures where you have a state senate and stuff like that. They help the governor, or they pass the laws of the governor. They work with the governor. They're like how the U.S. Congress is up under the president. The state legislature, Congress, whatever you want to call it, is under the governor. I could almost understand if she was in that position because they don't really get paid that much, $17,000, and it's state money. So from somebody in Colorado saying something crazy that is not a federal position, I dig it. But you're talking about a federal position and a rising star, somebody that is rumored to possibly be the president one day. They're talking about having her run for president when she's old enough, or vice president or something like that, having her go up the ranks. This has got to stop right now. This is really too much. Now, she had a response to this on Twitter, and I'll place that on the screen before you. It reads, maybe instead of Republicans drooling, she said drooling, over every minute of footage of me in slow-mo, waiting to chop up word slips that I correct in real time, we'll get to that in a moment, they actually step up enough to make the argument they want to make that they don't believe people deserve a right to health care. Okay, I don't know where the healthcare thing come from. Maybe that came from that particular tweet up under it, but then you see where she at the bottom corrected it real time. I mean, come on, this don't look too good. I mean, you got typos in your jank. You don't know what the branches of government are. I mean, look, again, if you are a regular person, a regular normie in the street, holding a sign talking about resist, nobody would care because you wouldn't actually be in office. Who cares about what you think? You're just a regular person on the street. Your words at the end of the day are inconsequential to a certain extent. They can be consequential, but not in the way that you are in a position to be. You are in the U.S. House. You have the power to pass laws that affect all of us in the country. So I think that we need to have a little bit of scrutiny about an individual like this who does not know what the three branches of government are. I mean, did you watch Schoolhouse Rock? Did you have any kind of flashcard lesson with your mom? Your mom was a housekeeper and stuff like that. Okay, so I presume she had some time to do some kind of flashcards with you. You went to high school and college. You're paying off student loans for what? Apparently, it's a lot of things that you were missing here. And maybe it's just New York. If you're from New York and you know about where she went to school, please let me know in the comments below. Did y'all not learn about that? I remember this in high school. All I have is an associate's degree, and I did not get political until I say about 3 years ago, as far as being seriously political. You know, like before that, it was just kind of casual. In 2008, when I was like, 22, 23, when I voted for Obama the first time, I didn't know anything about politics, really. I just voted for him because he was black. I got interested in the politics later. I'm not even running for, I'm just a guy that's talking. I'm not even in office. This person is in office and doesn't know what the three branches of government are. That's pretty crazy. I mean, it's other individuals like that in government, like Hank Johnson talking about Guam may tip over. And by the way, he's still in power. He's still in office, which is crazy, but that's a different story and I digress. So I'll leave that there. What do you think? Do you think that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a few trees short of a forest? How do you feel about an elected official, regardless of left, right, center, libertarian, not knowing basic things about our government? I'm talking basic. You know, how many stars on the flag? What's your state capital? I mean, I put not knowing what the three branches of government are up there with not knowing your own state capital. Okay, that's where I put it at. All right. If you don't know your own state capital, then you might need to get some remedial education. If you are a sound-minded person and you don't understand basic facts, you got to tighten yourself up, especially if you want to be out here in the public doing a bunch of speaking. There are other people in the house that you never hear from, people from other states. You know, who's the, District 2 rep from Utah? Do you know that person? I mean, no, you don't. But you know her because she's all over the TV speaking all the time. If you're going to be a public figure, you got to have your facts and figures tightened up. But that's all I got for this. Whatever your comments are, please let me